Morning all. Friday the 9th of February. Almost over the halfway mark towards better weather, maybe. England? No, you don't want to be in England. Anyway, I wanted to do an unusual shave today because I didn't have a very good shave the other day. I was trying out a new blue cuticle and I'm not very expert. I've had a word with Gary. Gary's put me onto some good YouTube channels and I'll do better another day. So as a punishment today, I'm going to do something a little different. My channel is all about straight razor shaving. And of course, what I'd really like to do would be to push people away from shavettes and safety razors onto straight razors. So here's a little comparison shave today. I shall start off with this lovely John Froome and give that a little rub on, my pre-shave. I haven't had a shower, so this is going to be probably a little bit of a rougher shave than I would want. However, we'll cool that down for a moment. Yeah, so promoting straight razor shaving. Why? I'll tell you why. I've got a whole selection of shavettes today, a real selection, ranging from horrible things from China, which I can't even fathom out. I can't even load a blade into them. That's how weird they are. Right to the very top end feather professionals. So you can have a feather professional, or you can have a really cheap Chinese made, stamped out of zinc. And also, I've got something really exciting today. I pushed the boat out. I've done a little bit of research. There is even now a disposable, I don't like the word either, but it's a disposable straight razor, which comes with a fixed blade, obviously of the modern style, in it. And for travel purposes, I reckon it could be just the job. So let me show you that. I think that's enough lava for now. Very mild aroma on this John Froome. Very nice actually. Do make sure, even with a shavette, you got reasonably dry fingers. I've loaded the blades, but this one I didn't need to. Now this is quite exciting. This is a Swift Expert, single use, ultra hygienic, comes in a little packet. It comes with a guard on the blade, which I've just removed, and it can be used rather like a straight razor. And I think it's very appealing in a disposable plastic manner. I'm going to try this one first. Beautiful. Yeah, I've got to say it's doing the job. Very, very nice. And it holds exactly like a straight razor. You can buy a whole box of these and take them with you wherever you want. One of the big advantages, of course, having the little, which I've dropped on the floor, having the little plastic breakaway guard, which goes on thus. Now that is quite a clever idea. Shows no one's used it before. So those who are, I don't know, really professional, perhaps a professional barber that doesn't want to shock his clients, but this is actually working out. Oh, that's beautiful. Only 2 days stubble, so that is really nice. I give that top marks. So there you have a little disposable travel razor. They come in a nice little sealed unit. They come with the break off little plastic guard over the blade. Now of course, supposedly single use, but you could use this as long as you want. You get quite a few shaves out of this. But the nice thing is, look, when it closes up, how about that for neat? So that is like your top end, for me, your top end shavette travel disposable. I just want to show you these two bloody awful things. This is some horrible invention from China, and I've honestly tried. I'm not a complete novice when it comes to these things. I can't load a blade into it. It just, it's junk. Anyway, it might take a special type of blade. I really wouldn't bother. I was tempted because it had a wooden handle. Anyway, this is a similar thing. These are, they come in various different qualities. Load the blade in, thus, if you can, snap it back in. The difference is this one, again, it won't locate on any of the normal blades, so that's junk as well. I do a lot of experimenting. That's why it's a test channel. My channel is about testing things. However, now we're coming to the good stuff, or the weirder stuff. This one is the Ali Balikli. Now this is a Turkish disposable, well not this, it's a Turkish shavette. And I must admit, I had to go and find a YouTube video of how to load it. But it does load, and you strip it on the edge of a tin to get rid of the blade. It's very odd. Anyway, let's give this one a little go. Very, very lightweight, very, very reasonable price. You can get these off eBay. The blade is, I'm being very fair, the blade is, again, what I've used before. Don't like the feel of this one at all, but it does work. Works very well. Again, I'm using a feather disposable safety blade. Yeah, that's good, that works. It's a bit odd, very thin, very tinny. Just going to give it a wipe off, but it does work. So that is the Balikli, the Ali Balikli, and it's very, very thin, very, very skinny. You have to be quite skilled loading a blade into it. You don't get any help with that one. However, yeah, I'd give that a pass, just about. And now we get on to the proper stuff. I want to go back very briefly and use this Barbarossa, which is a feather knockoff, but a very exact feather professional knockoff. This one, as you saw the other day, if you could be bothered to follow this channel, this one takes the standard blade. Yeah, it's sort of, it's pretty good. I'm not very keen on the short blades, but let me put a little bit more lather on. This John Froome, nice soap, drying out quite quickly. So let's add a little bit of water, like you do, like you should, just a little bit. So far, I have to say, the plastic disposable horror, which is the Swift Expert, that so far is very, very impressive. Anyway, all this is just leading up to the fact you can train with these when you're first starting before you go on to a proper straight razor. People are put off by straight razors. They look a little intimidating. They're actually more gentle than these horrible things. You get more cuts from a conventional so-called safety razor. But anyway, last but not least, woo, look what I've got. That is your proper feather professional. And this is the Scots model, which is rather delicious. It has, although it's I believe a resin, it's a very nice looking wood style grip. It's got the long blade, which I've been wanting to try, because this is getting closer to a proper straight razor. Let's have a little go with this. Very quiet. Yeah, it feels good. These feather blades do appear to be very, very nice. It's quite a sophisticated piece of mechanism. Extremely easy to load, extremely easy to dispose of the blade. I've been playing with this. I have. And I've taken the blade in and out a few times. And it's good. Let's try the other side of my moustache that hasn't been touched. A little bit draggy. Could be me. It could be the angle of the blade. You can get these different blades from Feather range, and they've all got a slightly different set into the handle. So at the moment, I wouldn't give this a very high mark, but it could be that it needs a slightly different blade. Let's try on the chin area. Also, I have to be candid with you. I have used this blade on a couple of other occasions when I shouldn't have, just as a test, and I think I buggered it. So, although it looks good, and it's a heavy old razor, I wouldn't give it a high mark. However, now let's go to a proper razor. Now this is a standard straight razor. It's a guarantee Solingen, no maker's mark on it, so it's probably not the highest quality. It's in very nice condition. It's had a very little bit of pitting on it, nothing to be worried about. And this one, hanging hair tested perfectly, and this one came straight off the stone. I did the full cuticle yellow, old yellow cuticle process, and this one went from bevel set on a cuticle. So this is bevel set on my yellow cuticle, straight way through to water, and then strop, just lightly stropping. Brilliant. So let's try it one more time. This one I tried about a week ago. Yeah, so much better. Deep hollow, you can hear it, can't you? Yeah. You have so much more control with a solid piece of steel. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with the result on this. To actually go from, I'd freshly cleaned and polished this because it had a little tiny bit of corrosion, to go from the buff, which would destroy your edge obviously. So it did have an original edge on it. I went straight from the buff, straight after cleaning, straight onto the cuticle. I've got to say the yellow cuticle is a very quick process. Perhaps I was lucky. The blue cuticle, nah, I'm not lucky with the blue cuticle. Listen to that cut. You just feel more secure with a fixed solid blade. And a long blade is good. This of course is your very average 6/8 size of blade. Yep. Which is why once you've crossed the great divide from disposable blades, disposable razors, to something that you can truly love and treasure, like this. Cost of a razor like this, next to nothing. Hasn't got a attributed name. It's not what you call a high-end, high-grade. But bloody hell, they don't half work well. Also, of course, the whole point of straight razor use is to increase your hand-to-eye coordination, to master yourself, which is what life's all about. I'm going to put that down for a moment because I want to go one more pass on this weird little white plastic disposable, which actually I think is rather nice. The Swift Expert. So far, out of a range of razors, range in quality and range in price, I would honestly say I'm not very impressed at the moment with any of them, apart from this little Swift. That'll do me. Right. Let's go back to this. Strange looking little beast, isn't it? Look at that. Very space age looking. And of course, you don't need to strop it. You don't need to do anything. But it will lead you on, hopefully, to the joys of straight razor use. All its angles are good. You've got to be careful because this is new to me. I've not used one of these before. If you keep your angle low, I'm a little bit tender from day before yesterday's shave, which was not a great success. You haven't got enough weight in this to really feel what it's doing. It weighs nothing. But does the job. So if you're going away and you want to still use a straight razor style, obviously I'm not calling this a straight razor, that would be silly. But it's the straight razor style, it's the straight razor overall feel. For a disposable, it's pretty good. Yeah. But the joy of a good straight razor is the ability to get into it, to strop it, and eventually when you're good enough, to hone it, to strop it and keep it forever. Let's go back. And of course, halfway through a shave, I'm a little bit tender from the other day. So what I'm going to do, just wipe the blade. I'm going to give it a couple of laps on the strop. Didn't really need it, to be honest, but yeah, that's better, you see. You can tune and hone and perfect your straight razor. You can't do that with your interchangeable blades. Oh no, this is infinitely superior. I'm probably preaching to the converted already. That's Martin's little test on shavettes, your entry into straight razor. Proper manhood. Yeah. Yeah. You really can't beat good steel. And this is good steel. It's good German steel. But whether it's a Sheffield, or whether it's German, or of course American, a lot of the German companies made specifically their razors for the American market, as did Sheffield. Everybody goes bonkers about Wade and Butcher, but you've got to remember they were a mass-produced razor, really mass-produced, beautifully made, but they were mass-produced for the American market. In the hundreds of thousands. Anyway, chaps, look, I don't want to waste your time. This is just my way of explaining, trying to get into, for new people, trying to get into straight razors. You might be wise to try with a Chevette, just to, if you're trying to break away from the horrible safety razor, then to go to one of these little devils, particularly if you want to spend lots of money. You can go to, this is a knockoff copy of a top end feather. Works very well though. Here is your your proper expensive feather. So, all in all, chaps, these will win every single time. Try and learn the art, master the steel. Anyway, look, I'm going to shut up. I've been far too long. Try and bear with me. Thanks for following my channel. Martin's Shave Test is all about the tests, not about the aromas, not about the suds, not about the bloody bristles. It's about the steel and the technique. Anyway, chaps, thanks for following. See you all soon. Bye for now.